747 KNEB and 46 degrees. Time for News Extra. Today brought to you by Java Funeral Home. Here is Kevin Mooney.
Thank you, Dennis. Good morning, everyone. And our guest today is Betty Kenyon, and she's going to talk about the 2013 Spring Wellness Festival for Seniors. Betty, this is the 17th year for this wonderful event.
It is. I haven't been in it that long, but there are a number of people on the committee or volunteers that have been part of it for 17 years. People thought maybe we weren't having it this year because it's always been during the college spring break week, but since we've moved to the Harm Center, we're not tied to that. And we think the weather will be better in April than it sometimes is in March.
All right, it's Friday, April 12th, over at the Harms Advanced Technology Center. And kind of describe what this is all about and the reason why you guys have it.
Well, our idea is to provide seniors, and we count that as people over 60, a chance to learn about a variety of topics. We always have a keynoter. This year our keynoter is Dr. Pamela Richardson, and she does a wonderful job talking about wellness. I've heard her before. Then after we all go to that, then there are 4 concurrent sessions. People need to pre-sign up so that we know how big a room and so we can fit them into rooms.
All right, and the cost is unbelievably inexpensive.
We raised it to $8.
Oh, my Lord, $8. $8 to get all this information about various things, that's tremendous. So.
It is, and probably one of our biggest expenses is the printing, and we get at a reduced rate. The aging office, with their funds, is able to pay for our lunch.
Yeah.
And I should say, we are welcome people of any age, but if you're a kid of under 60, you have to pay $15.
Okay, so if you're under 60, $15, and if you're 60 or over, it's $8. And the entire wellness festival goes from about 8 o'clock till about 3 o'clock, something like that.
Something like that, yes. And if they feel like they only want to come for a half day, we aren't going to give them a half-day price, but they certainly,
yeah.
If you came for the morning, you'd get your $8 worth, I think.
Yeah, I think you would too. And you have a nice lunch in addition to that. And some of the topics, I mean, you're going to talk about virtually everything that a senior is kind of wants to know about, aren't you?
Well, and what I was thinking as I was driving down here, there's been a program, I've seen an ad about seniors not knowing how to touch the keys on a computer and where is the shift key and this and that.
Yeah, how to turn it on even.
Yes, and we've got several of those sessions going back to this is a mouse.
Yeah.
Because some people think that's a critter running around the room.
Yeah. And then you have a lot of things about wellness. You have things about diabetes and other health issues. You even have something here about the Affordable Care Act, what that means for Medicare beneficiaries, Medicaid fraud. People need to know those things, right?
People need to know those things. And we are very fortunate in all of these speakers are volunteers. So we get a number of physicians and nurses and other professionals who volunteer their time.
Yeah. And you also have some things about that are kind of humorous. You have Mike Minzy, and Mike is a very funny guy. If you've ever met Mike, he was at Capwin for a number of years, and I went to his retirement reception, and he was a hoot at that. We had him here. We had him in here for about 7 or 8 minutes on the show, talking about all the things that went on at Capwin, and he's going to do something on outhouses, right?
Mike has the most wonderful collection of outhouse pictures, and his talk is just hilarious. I've heard it in the past, and it's one of the really fun ones. If you don't have to think. And sometimes it's nice not to just deal with Medicare fraud and do I have this disease, but do something for fun.
Yeah, do something for fun. And then you have this little section here now, where did I put my car keys? That's at 10 and 1 o'clock. The normal aging changes of the brain. And all of us, while we age, I know when you're young and you're 35 or 40, you go, that's not going to happen to me. I'm sorry, it probably will. And for people to just recognize what happens.
Well, and maybe it's you recognize it in a spouse or a parent, and
Yeah.
you want to know more about it.
Right.
And this is Nancy Meyer from UNMC Nursing School. She always has two good topics, and she does an excellent job with them. Her other one this year is about dealing with blood pressure without taking a lot of medications.
Yeah.
So I think she's going to be is a good addition always. And then, Kevin, we have something we've never had before. One of the sessions is the jazz band from Scottsbluff Junior High School, and that ought to be a big draw.
Yep, that's at 2 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So people need to register ahead of time. Once again, the Wellness Festival is on Friday, April 12th over at the Harms Center, and it's $8. They'd like you to register ahead of time, and the registration deadline here is April 5th.
If you are interested and want a brochure sent to you, if you would call the college, the Harms Center, at 635-6700, 635-6700, they will be glad to mail you, or they can fax it to you. If you pre-register, we can guarantee you'll get in the classes. Sometimes they fill up and we don't have any rooms big enough.
Yeah.
So that's just, we wanted to have enough food so you get to eat the good noon meal.
Yeah, all right. Very good. So get after it. Registration deadline, April 5th, 2013. And again, what's that number?
635.
6,700, I think you
Right.
said, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's the Harms Center.
Yep.
It should also be, if it isn't now, it will be on the WNCC website.
Yep.
WNCC.net.
I think it's .edu.
I think it's not net.
They change
.net.
back and forth between.
Yeah, it's WNCC.net, I think, is
Yeah.
what it is. All right.
Okay.
All right. Very good. Well, thanks for coming in. Good luck with it.
Thank you. And we should. May I mention the organizations?
Oh,
Because
sure.
we couldn't do it without lots of time given by organizations. I mentioned the Aging Office, CAPWIN, Heritage Estates, Regional West Foundation, who pays for the keynoter, Regional West Medical Center, the Village at Regional West, and WNCC.
All
So
right.
there's a lot of organizations that put things into this.
Yeah. Very good. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.